Introverted Intellect, helping you overcome shyness, social anxiety, depression, and utilizing the power of being an introvert.
Welcome to
Introverted Intellect, a podcast for introverts.
What is up, folks? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Introverted Intellect.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. That's right. Today, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. And I'm just going to dive right into it. You guys know this is going to be taken, no, you don't know, I'm sorry, but this is taking place at an airport. Ladies and gentlemen, flight 329A will be boarding in 10 minutes. I repeat, flight 329A will be boarding in 10 minutes. Please take this time to check your belongings and prepare for boarding. Thank you. 10 minutes left and still no sign of her boyfriend. What's taking him so long? She thought to herself. With good reason to be worried, she frantically began dialing his phone number. Beep, 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 fingers trembling with each hit of a digit. Hello? Are you okay? We're about to leave in 10 minutes. Yeah. Just hold on. 5 minutes later. Ladies and gentlemen, flight 329A will be boarding in 5 minutes. This was a mistake, she thought to herself. A huge mistake. Why did I ask him to come? Ladies and gentlemen, flight 329A will now be boarding Group A. Again, she calls him. Why are you doing this? You'll be fine. Just come out of the restroom. Just leave without me, okay? It's fine. Just go. Maybe another time. Just not this time, okay? Just not this time. 15 minutes later. Last call for boarding. I repeat, this is the last call for boarding. After a stressful 15 minutes of stress, anxiety, and sheer panic, and with only 5 minutes left, she decided this was the last straw. She knew what she had to do. Hi, I have to cancel the flight for my party of two. We've run into a personal emergency. Now you may be wondering, wow, this guy hates flying that much. But no, it wasn't the flying. If only it were. It was much worse. Much worse, folks. The man in the restroom was about to take a flight and meet his girlfriend's parents. However, instead of allowing himself to face them, he let his anxieties and fear take over and control him to the point of missing his plane. That, folks, is an excerpt of my ebook coming out soon in November, around mid-November, I suppose. I'm still trying to set the date, but as of right now, it's going to be around mid-November after things are settled. And this book is about situations for those particular people. I was once that kind of guy. I was once actually that guy who will miss the planes due to anxiety. Now, that story wasn't about me, I don't think I would go through that type of situation. I had more anxiety missing a plane, and I think I dread it more that I wasted money on a plane if I didn't take the plane, get on the flight. But regardless of that, this is based on a true story of a guy missing a plane because he was so anxious and meeting his girlfriend's parents. And I just totally I sympathize with him so much because I knew that was me inside. That was definitely me inside, where I was so introverted, so insecure, so shy, that I could not even I dreaded stepping out of the house. I dreaded doing anything that involved talking or, communicating. I told this story time and time again where I talked to people. I spoke with people and I would start to sweat because I was so anxious during the conversation. And I would be so anxious that they're seeing my sweat that I'd sweat even more. And then now I'm in the situation where they're awkward because I'm looking awkward and I'm awkward because they're awkward too. And it's just a huge mess. And that social anxiety was just real, right? So we know the problem now. We know that the problem is because we have this issue with communicating and having anxieties over fears that are just solely unknown. Fears that are, or then they're known, but fear of the unknown is what it is. Fear of the unknown and how uncomfortable we can get around others. And we miss opportunities that come along our way. We miss maybe the interview because we were so awkward and strange, because we were socially inept. We could not communicate whatsoever to our interviewer, or we missed the opportunity to, in this instance, meet a girlfriend's parents that could have resulted in a better relationship between the parents and the girlfriend. Or maybe perhaps a time when you missed out on talking to somebody who, like a business opportunity. Who knows? I think in the end, we make this communication and social anxieties to be this mountain that we can't climb. But every mountain can be conquered with just little bitty steps, right? Every single time you look at the mountain and you give up right away just by looking at it, you failed already. You don't fail if you're trying to climb the mountain and each step you're taking is one step closer to conquering that mountain. My mountain was so big it took me several years to get by. My duty in this podcast is to help you guys look at that mountain and conquer it quicker with tips and tricks and techniques and suggestions, and even that mindset trick that you guys got to keep putting into play and practice every single day of your lives. Because if you don't put into practice, you end up just looking at that mountain and turning it away every single day, and you just can't do that. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't start with just a little bit of a tiny thing, and this tiny thing I'm writing in this book is connection with people around you. That's an immediate connection with the people around you. That is your friends, your family, the people already in your lives, whoever that may be, your teachers, whoever. Parents, a big one, relatives, all these people contribute to bettering your social life regardless of your social anxiety, because you're most comfortable with them than you are with some stranger. I mean, I'm uncomfortable with strangers at times, but I'm a lot better now because I learned to connect with people within my sphere of relationship, right? I think the hardest one would probably be coworkers outside, like they're not necessarily immediate people, but they are like one step further from your parents. So you have your parents, siblings, you have your relatives, and then you have maybe your classmates if you go to school, and then maybe for people who go to work, it would be the coworkers and whatnot. But yeah, it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone to get better and better as you go along. And I get it. It's tough. It's hard. And the reason why I talk about this today is because I do see it a lot on Facebook and Instagram, how people are just totally super scared and having social anxiety. And the more followers I get on my Instagram, the more I hear about, like they have social anxiety, and, they are thankful that I am helping, but with the way they can. But I just want them to know that they have to take action. And if you guys are listening, if you guys happen to hear this, whoever is out there that has social anxiety, that has depression or shyness that they seem they can't fight, you gotta understand it's all in the action. It's all in the action. It's all in the practice. And I know that's harder. It's easier said than done. But I'm telling you, like, I had to force myself out of this, because if you stay in this zone, you're gonna miss out on so many good opportunities in your life. It can be monetary, it can be relational, it can be anything, it can be happiness, opportunity for happiness. And that happiness is coming through the breaking of freedom of this chain of shyness that you have in your life. I'm saying this because I was probably more shy than you growing up. Growing up, I was considered mute. I was considered socially awkward. I was considered just a weird kid. I was considered just... I got no respect from people around me because of how shy and quiet I was. The people who talked the most seemed to have the most respect. It wasn't fair. Like, you talk, I mean, people can talk. Anybody can talk, and they get the most respect. It doesn't make any sense. But I think as specifically for introverts, they have a lot better... they have an advantage because introverts are very introspective. They tend to think about what they say and be a lot more deep about what they say, and they rather have those deep conversations than somebody who just talks out their thoughts all the time. I think in the end, introverts, they have such a power to them that a lot of people take for granted. And it's interesting because I have introverts tell me, I wish I was extroverted. I wish I can talk more. I even had people who are shy come up and tell me, like, I wish I can talk. Or they don't come out to me, but they tell, like, my girlfriend. My girlfriend tells me, like, hey, this person was so envious of how well you're able to talk to people. I wish I can talk to people like John does. And I'm like, man, you can do that too. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm an introvert through and through. I'm an introvert and I'm a shy guy overall. It's just that I don't allow that shyness and introvertedness to hold me back when I don't want it to hold me back. Like, when I know I need to take action and move forward and do it, I do it. Because if I don't, and I see that it could hold me back for more opportunities, then I just, for instance, there was a networking situation I had with somebody, and I was scared because I knew that I just didn't know whether or not this guy would think that I'm using him for some reason. But I wasn't. I just want to know. I was curious. I was genuinely curious about who this guy was. But he held a high position, quote unquote, high position in whatever the club I was in. And I talked to him. I spoke to him. And next thing you know, like, I was interested in what he had to say to me and his background. And next thing you know, like, he's relatively close. Oh, not close to me, but he knows me by name, and like we talk, and that relationship could lead somewhere down the future. Who knows? But for now, the fact that I'm able to be comfortable around him and not be so awkward is a blessing in itself, right? Anyways, this episode is a little more serious than usual, just because I'm not feeling the most energetic about. I'm not feeling like a whole uppity, yippity, happy, which I don't have to be. But I'm definitely more passionate about this topic, where we need to. It's all in the action. It's all in the action. It's all in the stepping out of your comfort zone in small ways. As I talked about before, getting out of your comfort zone little by little. And with this ebook that I'm coming out with soon, this book I'm writing, it's here to help you learn to connect. Now, anybody could talk to people, but not many people could learn to connect. Now, connecting is this huge important topic that not many people really talk about, because it's just, what does it mean to really connect, right? And I think connecting involves being vulnerable and coming to the point where you listen and you exchange, and you're talking and listening to the point when you have this connection. It's hard to explain. It's like you have a bond. There's something that binds you with them that is more than just superficial. And that's what I'm trying to help people realize, is that the most important thing for you to do as an introvert, and this biggest superpower that you have, is indeed in the connection with others. And with that said, actually, let me just move on now. I just want to tell you guys a little story that's happened this past weekend. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but I guess maybe I could talk about it today or not. I'll talk about it on Thursday. Yeah, we'll move on. We'll move it to Thursday. Yeah, stay tuned for Thursday's podcast for the story I was going to talk about. And hopefully you guys would listen in on that one. Sorry for my energy levels being so low. It's kind of the evening. I didn't work out today. That's for another podcast too. Enjoy and take care of your health, folks. Yeah, I'm going to talk about health later on, because I think health is a huge issue with people who are shy. Not just shy, but like there's a point when you can feel awkward and feel out of place, like I do right now, because of your health. I feel like all the stuff I did like this past weekend, all the food I ate, all the bad food I ate is catching up to me. And I don't want to blame food for like my really bad not attitude, but like drowsy, weary attitude right now, or vibe. But unfortunately, I think that's the case right now because I'm not feeling great, like that great right now. Anyways, I'm gonna go do my introverted thing and do some more writing and maybe watch some Walking Dead afterwards. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Once again, to recap, please don't let your shyness take you away from great opportunities in life. Learn to work on them by taking action and keep listening on stuff that you could take action on. For instance, the health thing I was just talking about. That's literally when you work on your health, you could indeed be better. You feel good and you feel good talking to people. Anyways, I don't want to drag you guys on too long here. But thank you guys very much for listening. Please, once again, subscribe and leave a review if you guys enjoyed the podcast. And if you guys didn't enjoy the podcast, tell me directly. Tell me what I can improve on. Let me know. Don't hold back. Don't hold your secrets. You guys, I know you guys are downloading this podcast. I don't know who's listening until the end. And I really need you guys out there to voice whether, how I'm doing. Because if you don't, what's the point of continuing on if no one is really being impacted? And if nobody is, then who cares? I'm just talking to myself then. But I know I'm not. I'm getting enough downloads. I know I can see you guys. And once again, please subscribe. I just said that. And check me out on social media. Instagram has a lot of things. Check me out on Twitter and on YouTube if you guys watch that these days. If not, I'm pretty sure you guys do. Anyways, thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon, actually. Go ahead and write to me, mrjohnnyrax@gmail.com. Peace.
We are what you make